Hello again, it's me again. Time for a new tournament, new stuff. Magnus' next tournament after we can see is the Linares tournament. It used to go about 1 month after Linares, so the best players they play we can see and then Linares. As you can see here, it was a good tournament for Magnus. He got 7.5 of 14. Grishuk and Ivanchuk won the tournament, and Anand has won. He's the current world chess champion. He had won against Kramnik just maybe half a year before this. So he's the current world champion here, getting here in the middle. So I've chosen 3 games from this tournament. First game is against world champion Anand. So this is Magnus' first game against Anand after Anand got world champion. And yeah, I don't want to spoil, but Magnus will play two matches against Anand later. That we, of course, will be studying his games in great detail. So they will have a lot of games. It's also interesting to know that Anand played his first World Championship match back in, I think it was 92 or something like that, and Magnus was born 1990. So when Magnus was 2 years old, Anand already played his first World Championship match against Garry Kasparov. So at this time it was a very interesting match against, and there was like a show on by Peter Nielsen and Jan Gustafsson and Laurent Fressinet on Chess24 video page, because Peter Nielsen was second for Anand and Laurent Fressinet was second at Kramnik. So they had like what did I think, and basically what I remember from that video series, it was that Anand didn't used to play the semi-Slav, but he prepared it specifically against Kramnik, and he got very good results from it. So it became a stable part of his openings here, because it's a very sharp and positional opening. So it's definitely something that's good for Anand, who is being a tactical player. So let's see here. Magnus goes for the Meran. This move is called the Meran system, and Magnus does the line that we already saw him play against Helge Gretarsson. He played this line also. We saw that in a previous game, and they play exactly the same line as so Anand has probably Anand for surely know about the game against Gretarsson, so he had prepared this line. They did exactly like this. And this is also an opening that fits Anand's sharp style. Like, he's not afraid to go into a tactical battle against Magnus. And he's also good at endgames. So he's trying to trade endgames. Trade queens here. The computer didn't like it that much. It was possible to play like bishop d7, something like this, and long castle looks a bit better for then you don't have to, because Magnus is just a better endgame player than Anand, so this would have been the better practical choice, because Anand can't play endgames against Magnus, unfortunately, especially not with weak isolated pawns like this. So Anand has a stable position. King is good here, and because like these isolated pawns are not so weak, if white had a pawn here and like had an open file where he could attack this pawn, it would be disaster for black. Then it would have been over already, but now they're not so weak, so it might be possible to defend here. And actually Magnus trades away this. This is known like as a bad bishop or a big pawn or something like that, but as they say, bad bishop defends strong pawns, so this bad bishop defend these important pawns. So Magnus, which is correctly here according to computer, trade it off. And it's of course important that black cannot take like this, because the rook, then of course black would be fine here. And they also have another saying, it's like the worst bishop is better than the best knight. So if you're using that saying also, then it's also correct just to take here. Okay, but this looks, that just looks wrong. Why didn't he take with the rook here? Yeah, this looks good, and then here. And the computer thinks it's relatively equal, but taking with the knight looks wrong. He also can't get a strong knight here. He kind of wants a strong knight here, so if white takes it, he can undouble his pawns. And Magnus is being kinda quite good at these positions, like where he doesn't have so much risk. But I guess the reason why Anand play like this, it's that there is a famous endgame in the Queen's Gambit. It goes something like this. I don't really remember, but basically white plays here and black gets doubled pawn, and the way black is supposed to defend is that he is going to spend a lot of moves to get his knight here to d6, where it's like defending like weak squares for some reason. I never studied that one, but it's probably because these players, they know a lot of theory. Anand has probably seen, because it's like a saying in that opening, that tabia, that knight should be here for some reason. So I guess that's it explains why Anand played like this. It's just because he's following this saying in that tabia, which is a little bit similar to this one with the doubled pawn. So it looks like Anand is ready to take a draw, but Magnus is not. Okay, so knight e8 was a big mistake here. Apparently it allowed white to push e4. He's converting his advantage to another advantage here. Okay, and this is the losing move here for some reason. f6 was best. Yeah, basically the problem here with this move is that Magnus didn't see it, but the problem was that white could have done this, and it's this one here. And if he likes move the rook, then he can enter, and if he moves on this way, maybe something like that. And later he can check maybe. It's not obvious even for me, so it's not so strange that they didn't see it. But I can understand that the computer doesn't like this trade. Like this pawn is both strong and weak, but if white ever can like come in with rook and attack, then this pawn passer will be a super strong passer. So, but yeah, Magnus is also good. Okay, so yeah, the disadvantage with f6 was obviously that you could go like this, but it should be fine still. So there must have been a blunder by Anand here. Okay, so he makes a blunder here. The correct was this. And apparently back. Okay, let's see why is this a blunder? Only reason I can think of is that white threatens to take here and then like win this pawn. For example, like this. And the pawn is very dangerous. But Magnus, he missed apparently that. Which is strange. They used to get like a lot more time here, so but of course it's not, it's quite an little bit hard endgame for a human maybe. Okay, so he should have gone to e1 here. Now it's apparently a drawn position. Yeah, it looks kind of drawn now. White has one extra pawn, but it should be a draw here, yeah, with correct play. Okay, and here is the losing mistake. It was better to check first. Check here and now here. Obviously threatening this. If you go here. Not so clear why, but I'm trusting the computer. So now this is quite a nice tactic, yeah. He can do like this now. And if he takes, he gets a dagger in the back, stab in the back by the rook, stab in the back. Okay, but it's also interesting that he cannot take the queen now, because then black would take this one and it would be a draw, so he has to do like this, but he can do that. And it's like technical winning position here, of course, but still some accuracy is needed. And now Anand had enough, so it's fine that fun for Magnus to beat the world champion, and yeah, it won't be so long before he is already the better player than Anand, but it won't be so long before he takes the world championship title. So see you next game here.